2NURFM News for our sponsor, Cartier Jewellery. Always unique, always quality. Toronto Town Square.
It's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Belinda De Lasheras with 2NURFM Hunter News. BAE Systems Australia have been awarded a lucrative defence contract to oversee maintenance of the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter fleet to be stationed at Newcastle Airport from early 2018. BAE are promising to actively engage with small to medium-sized Australian businesses boasting experience with the Joint Strike Fighter program. BAE Systems Aerospace Director Steve Drury says the contract will help create a boom in the region's workforce.
With the current site, we have quite a large workforce already, in excess of 200, and I think we're going to have to increase that substantially. So our apprentice program will continue into the future, and we'll be maximising local people to be employed in our company.
Mental health issues in rural areas of the Hunter are about to be brought under the spotlight thanks to a new action plan released by the National Rural Health Alliance. The plan is designed to address the lagging number of trained mental health professionals in rural demographics and help reduce the stigma around seeking assistance for mental illness. Chief Executive of the National Rural Health Alliance, Gordon Gregory, says we can all play a part in battling mental illness.
I mean, we need to do whatever we can, I'm sure you'd agree, to talk about this issue and make sure that everybody who's in a caring position, whether they be friends or relatives or people you bump into at sporting events or in cattle yards or whatever, that we are much more sensitized to the need to keep a lookout for our friends and relations in respect of serious mental illness.
Maitland is about to get a whole lot greener, with the state government announcing funding for new garden waste bins in the area. Environment Minister Rob Stokes and local MP Robin Parker have outlined plans for a $1.2 million cash injection for 28,000 bins under the government's Waste Less, Recycle More initiative. Liberal candidate for Maitland Steve Thompson says the project will enable an increased level of green waste recycling.
So this is a great thing for Maitland, that now everybody has the opportunity to recycle their green waste.
Construction is set to commence on a phone tower in Thornton's Taylor Avenue after the project crossed its final hurdle last night, getting the green light from Maitland Council. Once completed, the tower will stand 30 metres tall and feature 6 12-port panel antennas to be mounted on a head frame at 29 metres off the ground. An Optus equipment shelter will also be installed on the site. Port Stephens Council has given the go-ahead for a major cultural and performance centre aimed at rivalling key cultural precincts around the Hunter. The multi-purpose complex will be built on an underused main stretch of King Street in Raymond Terrace, overlooking the river. Deputy Port Stephens Mayor Steve Tucker says last night's meeting has set the foundation for the area's cultural planning.
Well, we approved the strategic cultural plan last night at Council. That lays a basis for basically what we want to do with moving forward with culture in Port Stephens in the future.
Singleton Council has signed a planning agreement with Liddell Coal to contribute $580,000 to community projects in the area. In accordance with the agreement, Liddell will provide developer contributions for the Singleton local government area. Funding will be split throughout community ventures, including $80,000 to Singleton Netball Association to cover the costs of a new clubhouse. $300,000 will also go towards installing a caretaker facility at Lake St Clair. In finance, the All Ords is down 21 points at 57.35 and $1 is buying 77.89 US cents. Now with sport, Reece Wicks.
The Newcastle Jets off-field dramas continue, with sacked goalkeeping coach Neil Young still chasing officials for severance pay 5 days after signing his termination forms. He claims he was promised 6 weeks' wages and 8 months' superannuation within 24 hours, but is yet to see a cent. It's believed Dump head trainer Andrew Packer is also waiting on his payout, while former assistant coach Clayton Zane seeks legal advice after being offered 4 weeks severance pay with a year to run on his contract. Meanwhile, Jets defender Daniel Mullen has put his teammates on notice ahead of Saturday's clash with the Wanderers. He's warning the boys to expect a dramatic turn of form from the cellar dwellers, who will come into the match with a confidence boost after ending their winless run with a 2-0 victory over Wellington last week. And Newcastle wheelchair racer Kurt Fearnley has begun training for April's Boston Marathon as he looks to build form for Rio next year, in what could be his final Paralympics. That's sport. I'm Reece Wicks.
2NURFM News Time is coming up to 1:05.